Okay, before going to sniffing module, it's better to um, look at few new concepts that I was not aware. First one is syslog. Syslog is a standard for sending and receiving notification messages in a particular format from various network devices. This message include timestamps, event messages, severity, host IP addresses, diagnostics, and more. uh, ARP cache. An ARP cache is a collection of address resolution protocol entries that are created when an IP address is resolved to a MAC address. It also stores IP address that is connected to which IP address is connected to which port. It contains a dynamic list of IP addresses of the devices and their MAC addresses. It is stored in content addressable memory, also called as CAM. So ARP cache is stored in content addressable memory. Okay, another concept called packet forwarding. Before performing ARP spoofing, make sure packet forwarding is turned on. Otherwise, our machine will drop all traffics before the hosts we are trying to sniff, causing a denial of service. Okay, in the coming videos, we'll be talking about um, a method of sniffing where we will use ARP spoofing. In that, we have discussed how to perform using a command called ARP spoof. So, but to perform that, before starting ARP spoofing, we have to do this packet forwarding. Otherwise, man in the middle attack is not possible. In that video, this is missed. So I am including that this information in this video. Okay, some other things which will be good to know is about the type of switches, unmanageable and manageable switches. Unmanageable switches are just plug and play, whereas manageable switches are plug and play, but they can be configured using console port. To configure, we need to connect laptop to switch using console cable, USB to USB to RJ45 cable. RJ45 end go to console port of the switch and USB into the laptop. After connecting, can configure using putty. It's a freeware. When configuring putty, it should be configured for serial port. When you install the putty and then when you configure, it should be installed for serial port, which then can be used to configure the switches. So after configuring the putty, we can open putty where you can see switch command prompt. The commands used in the coming videos are all executed on the putty. So yeah, in this chapter, to um, to avoid some of the attacks, we need to configure the switches. So I just wanted to give this information before going to those chapters. So, and in those videos, we'll be talking about some few commands to configure the switch ports. So, yeah, before going to those videos, it's better to know what are those, what we are doing in those commands. So, some of the basic commands are shown here. So, as soon as you get the command prompt, the command enable is to enter in privilege mode. So in most of the configuration has to be done using the privilege mode. So to go to the privilege mode, we have to give enable. And some examples of commands are shown below. So this is how the prompt looks. And when we give this enable, putty enters into the privilege mode and the prompt changes like this. So now we can give show MAC address table. So I mean it's easy to guess now, right? It will show the MAC address. Similarly, show interface status shows whether the interface is connected or not. Okay, as an I mean some other example is to show how to configure a port. Uh, in this example, we are configuring the port to a port security. So first, as explained earlier, we have to give this command enable to go to enter into the privilege mode. We'll get this prompt here. We should go. I mean, we should get the terminal into configuring mode. So for that, we give configure slash t. You can also give configure space terminal or configure t. So now we'll give what is the interface that we are going to configure. For example, here interface is the command and then the interface name. So after giving this, now we'll start to configure the port. So we are configuring, the command is switch port to indicate that we are configuring the switch port to port security mode. Port security. After this command, the port security will be enabled. If we give this switch port security max 10, this means switch port is configured with a maximum of 10 MAC address. Switch port security MAC address sticky. Setting to sticky prevents unauthorized devices from connecting to the network. So these are some of the commands you can give on putty. You can search on the YouTube also. You'll get a lot of videos on putty. So yeah, that's it.